Hi everyone, welcome to Pearl's Kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make stuffed tomatoes. This is a really delicious Indian recipe and this is very good for people who are vegetarians, so this can be eaten as a main meal, or if you're a non-vegetarian, then like me, I eat this as a side dish. So the ingredients what you need for is, in the pan you take a heavy base karai or a frying pan and you just put 2 small teaspoons of oil in there, very little oil. And then here I've got 2 boiled and mashed potatoes. I mashed it with the fork. So that's 2 medium-sized potatoes. I've got a cup of boiled peas. I boiled it, and in here I've got ½ inch of grated ginger, 1 finely chopped green chili. I've got ¼ teaspoon of turmeric powder, that's haldi, and I've got ¼ teaspoon of chili powder, ½ teaspoon of dhania powder, that's coriander powder, and I've got a ¼ teaspoon of cumin seeds, that's jeera, and I've also got 1 teaspoon of ghee or butter you can use. I've got 2 tablespoons of green coriander that I took out from my freezer. I've got 6 raisins for the 6 tomatoes, and I've got 6 cashew nuts that I split in half, so you put 2 in each. And these are the 6 tomatoes. These are the size you need. You need around medium-sized tomatoes, and I'll show you how to core them. You just take a sharp knife. I've already done most of them. You take a sharp knife and just cut it around like a coin size. And we throw this one away. And the rest of the pulp that comes from inside the tomato you keep separate. Don't throw that away because you need that for the gravy. So now you take a teaspoon and now you scoop all the inside. Release all the insides. There you go. So you do this to all the 6 tomatoes till they start looking empty, and keep the pulp separate, and then we'll show you how to do the stuffing. See, now the tomatoes are done and my oil's getting hot. So what you do is now you just put the cumin seeds in the oil as soon as the oil gets hot. Just for a minute fry the cumin seed. And then you take the ginger and the grated ginger and the chilies and you put that. Just fry that for a few seconds. And then what you do is you add all the mashed potatoes in there. That's why you need a heavy based pan or a frying pan. You can lower the heat a bit. And now you add the peas. And you add all these 3 ingredients, the haldi, dhania and the chilies. And now you keep frying this for 2 to 3 minutes. Keep frying it. Don't let it get caught underneath. Just keep frying it. Okay, this has had its 2 minutes, and now what we do is put that tablespoon of ghee or butter. You can use either. I like ghee. And give that a stir. And then add the coriander. It's okay, mine is a little bit darker color coriander because it was in the freezer. Now keep stirring and let that ghee work its way through all the mashed potatoes. Do that for another 2 to 3 minutes. So if you feel like the potato is starting to stick underneath, you just put another knob of butter or ghee. Okay, so because you don't want it sticking, you need for it to cook for 2-3 minutes for the masalas. And now you just add salt, like salt to taste, like a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and you mix the salt in it. And now you just do is, when the salt is all mixed in there, you just let it cool down, and then we'll stuff the tomatoes. So now see that my stuffing is out of the pan and into a bowl, and it's cooled down now enough to work and stuff the tomatoes. So you just you can use your fingers, or you can put it with a teaspoon. So like put 2 teaspoons, and then put 1 split cashew nut, 1 raisin, and then put some more, and then put the second split cashew nut, and then another one just to top it up. So what you do is you stuff all the tomatoes in this way, and then I'll show you what we do. You can see I'm stuffing the last one. For me it's better to work with my hands always. So put the raisin, this extra cashew nut, and then put some more stuffing, and the last cashew nut, some more stuffing, and there you go. So that's all the tomatoes are stuffed. So, and whatever is left over, don't throw that away, we'll need that, we'll put that into the gravy. So now what you do is you take a frying pan, a heavy based frying pan, and put a little bit of oil in there, and now you're going to put all these tomatoes in there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to fry this all around. Put the gas on medium, fry this all around, like keep an eye on it, don't let it burn and don't let it cook too much. Every 1 minute or so you turn the tomatoes on its side, or the opposite side. I'll show you this now. Now what you do is turn it around. Every now and then keep turning the tomatoes around so it has like fried all around a little bit. Don't let it overcook. Don't let the tomatoes get soft. So it's had a minute that side. Now what we do is turn it on its side. Yeah. Yeah. Just keep doing this on its side. I know it's a bit difficult. It will keep turning around back, but you can hold it with the fork. Fry it on its side. Just a little fry on each side. Keep turning it around. Like do 1 tomato at a time. The gas is slow, so don't worry. It won't burn. See, now the tomatoes have had a little fry all around. I know it's a bit fiddly. Now the rest will cook in the gravy that we'll show you how to make. Now what you do is just put the gas off and let this stuffed tomatoes rest, and I'll show you the rest of the ingredients. You can see our tomatoes are fried and stuffed and kept aside. They're resting, so we can carry on with the rest of the masalas. For the masalas, what we need is, I'm using the same karai again, and I've got 3 tablespoons of oil in there, and I've got 1 chopped onion, half a teaspoon of cumin seed, that's jeera, and in here I've got a 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric, that's haldi, and I've got half a teaspoon of Kashmiri Mirch, that's the not so hot chili powder, that's more for color, and another half of teaspoon of proper hot chili powder. Got 1 tablespoon of dry coriander powder, and that's Dhania, and I've got 6 cloves of garlic, 1 inch of ginger that's roughly chopped. I've got 3 to 4 black cloves. I've got 2 green cardamom, 1 black cardamom. You don't have to split it open because all this is going to be ground. And then I've got here around 10 peppercorns, and I've got around 20 cashew nuts. So we'll also need some cream, and don't forget the stuffing that was left over, we'll need that. We need some garam masala, and the coriander that's in the freezer, we'll need that. And apart from the 6 tomatoes, the inside of the pulp that had come out from the tomatoes, apart from that I've also got 2 more tomatoes chopped in there. So what we're going to do is put all these ingredients that's on this plate, put it all in the grinder, and then instead of using water, you use the pulp of the tomatoes, little at a time. So what you need to do is you just put this in the grinder, in the mixie, and then you just make it into a paste. There you go. It's not done yet, so after a few seconds you add some more tomatoes to it. And keep doing that till you've used up all the tomatoes and all that tomato. Grind it all into a paste. See, my masalas are done. That's how it should look like. I used up all the tomato, the pulp and the extra 2 tomatoes, and it's all mixed with the masalas, and my oil is getting hot there. So as soon as the oil is hot, you put the jeera first. Let the jeera fry for like a minute or so, and then, which is okay, that's done. So now what you do is you add the onions, the chopped onions, and now you let the onions fry till it's nice and brown. I mean not dark brown, like golden brown. See, it's gone nice and golden. Now what we do is add all the masalas to it. You don't want to throw this, so put some water, a tablespoon. Okay, and put all that. Now what you do is you keep it on a medium heat and keep bunjing the masala. You'll know when the masala separates from the oil, and it should take at least 7 to 8 minutes. You see, my masalas has had around 8 minutes, and the good sign of the masala that is bunjud and is well done is when it starts to slide. You can see it doesn't stick anymore. Okay, so now what we do is we take the rest of the stuffing that was left, because we don't want to waste that, and you mix that into the masala. And then you put salt to taste, say a 1/4 teaspoon. And just mix that potato stuffing into the masala. And then, yeah, that's it. Now we need to do is, we need to make some gravy. So, depends, you want runny gravy, but it's always better thick gravy. So keep stirring it. I think we'll need around a cup or a cup and a half. Keep stirring it, keep adding water. Okay, I think I've put a cup full of water. You can tell thickness of the gravy. Now, as soon as put the gas up, and as soon as it starts to boil, you just see 3 minutes, and then I'll tell you what to do. See, the masala, the gravy has had its 3 minutes, and it's on a rolling boil and on a very low heat. So now what we do is, you take the garam masala, take 1/2 teaspoon of garam masala. and put it in there. Give it a stir, and then you take your cream and put around 3 to 4 tablespoons of cream. And give that a stir. It's cooled down, and now keep the heat on a medium. We're waiting for it to come to a boil. The cream was from the fridge, so it's cooled down a bit. You see, after the cream it started to bubble again, and the heat is still on a low heat. So now what we do is take all the stuffed tomatoes and put that in the gravy. Okay. Give it a stir so the tomatoes are well coated with all the gravy. Now what you do is keep the heat on a medium heat, and now let this cook for at least 4 more minutes. The stuffed tomatoes has had its 4 minutes now, so what we do is put the gas off, and now you garnish it with some coriander that I've got in the freezer. And just stir it into the gravy. And then if you're dishing it to your guests, it's nice to put it in a dish. You try this, you really love it, because my family absolutely adores it. And you just take all the gravy . If you want to make the gravy a little bit more runnier, all you need to do is add some hot water in it. So that's your stuffed tomatoes. So now what we do is take some cream, and just before it goes onto the table, drizzle it with little cream, and a few more leaves of green coriander. And there you go. That's your lovely stuffed tomatoes. You really love it. You try and make it, and don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like it, and put your comments, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and share my link with your family and friends. And I shall see you next week with some more delicious cooking.